What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. Now this is a super cool bike I'm working on. For some of you it might be, for some of you guys it won't be. Now for the reason is this was just a normal mountain bike and the guy actually changed it into a single speed. Now the thing that's very cool on this is the tensioner that actually helped him to take it to someone that can make it for us, and it came out super cool. So I will show you guys the tensioner in just 1 minute. Now the thing what happened is I was actually talking to one of you guys 2 or 3 nights ago that said you would have liked to see me remove the bearings on that rear wheel. I think it was on the how to remove an XT driver and service it, the bearings inside. Now I've showed you how to remove the bearings on the inside of the XT drive. What I haven't done is I didn't show you guys how to remove the wheel bearings. Now it's exactly the same as removing the wheel bearings from the front. Once you free up body, let me show you guys here. Once you get to the point, now obviously this one's still got the free up body on here, but once you get to a point on an XT drive where the free up body is actually just pulled off and you sit with your axle still inside the wheel and then the bearings on the inside as well, what you're going to do is either you're going to tap out the axle. And some of the wheels you tap it out, some of them you have to you can basically just pull it out. So just make sure, I usually take it from the non-drive side and I tap it out towards the drive side. Then it pushes that little bearing out with it. And you can do it to the other side as well, then it will push that little bearing out with it. Some of them are just the axle that goes through, and then obviously it aligns itself when you put on the end cap. And what I'm going to do is now I'm just going to remove this axle, and then I'll show you guys how to remove the bearings on this one, which is super easy still. Like I said, you just basically push everything out, and then you're going to use the bearing puller, this big tool that I've got here. You're going to use the correct size blind hole bearing puller. Now if you've got one of these things, it will make your life super easy. Otherwise what I've done is, way in the past when I just started working on bikes, I would have used something like this, an old nut axle that was on the rear wheel or the front wheel of your old bike. This is a nice flat point, so you know you won't damage your bearing when you're heating it out. Now it's obviously the better thing to use something like a blind hole bearing puller, because you can damage it when you heat it out with something. You can always hit it a bit skew, so when you heat it out with something, make sure that you tap it on, we use the crossover, first the top then the bottom, left to right, little bit by little bit, to make sure that the bearing comes out straight. Otherwise the blind hole bearing puller is the way to go. So I'm going to put in an hyperlapse now. I'm going to remove the axle, I'm going to remove the free body, and then when I get to the bearing removing, I will take this tool, I'll put it in normal video, I'll take this tool and then I'll show you guys how I do it. But like I said, it's quite simple. It's almost the same as removing the bearings on the front wheel. So let's get to that thing. Alright, so it actually went so quick, I didn't even film it. So it was, we removed the free body. So now we've got the scenario where you've got your wheel with the axle. Now this is just a normal quick release axle, obviously with your sealed bearings, but this is usually the case where we sit. Now like I said, you don't always have to use a lot of force. Some of them you can just push out or tap out. Now this one is rusted in there quite bad, so I'm just going to take my rubber mallet and get that real quick, this one here, and then I'm just going to softly tap it out. So I tapped it out towards the non-drive side this time. Like I said, you can take it which way you want to. You can see on the axle there, I hope it focuses on that. You can see on the axle there on this side, and where I'm holding it, there's a small little stopping side, so you can push the bearing out with this side, and you can do it on the other side as well. So it doesn't matter which way you push it, it will take that bearing out with it. So this is basically what I've done. So the one bearing is out. Now we're going to take our blind hole bearing puller. We're just going to make sure we take the correct size that will fit into your bearing, and then we're going to remove the other side, and that's how easy it is. So I hope this is a bit of informative, especially to you asked, and that it will give you some help on that. Now I'm going to continue servicing the bike real quick. I'll put everything in hyperlapse, and then I'll show you guys this super cool tensioner that's made on this bike. It was quite expensive, but it blew my mind, just the things that you can accomplish if you really have the know-how. If you've got some technical background and engineering background, you can usually make something that will work perfectly. So I'm going to do this real quick. I'm going to service the bike, we're going to replace the spoke, and then I'll show you guys that tensioner. Alright guys, so much happened actually since I last picked up the camera. We've serviced everything on this bike. There's one thing I still need to do. I still need to service the pedals and then obviously install the rear wheel. But we've done hub bearings, pre-hub body bearings, front wheel bearings, headset. Almost everything's been done on this bike. We've done tubeless tape, tubeless sealant, spokes. So there's a lot that we've done. We've replaced the brake pads. Actually looks very nice. This Jaguar brake pads, the red actually sticking out there, looks quite good with the bike as well. But anyway, I told you guys that we've made a tensioner for this bike, which is super cool. I'm going to show you guys. This is not the prettiest of things, but it is working very, very well. And we've actually utilized two holes on the frame, these two here. You guys can see on the other side there's two as well. These two big ones right there and there. And we've actually put through two little bolts with spaces and everything, holding our little, take this out, holding onto our little tensioner that we've made. As you guys can see, we've got a little plate going through there, so you can move this up and down to put more tension on your chain or release some tension. We've used a normal jockey pulley wheel, which works very, very well, and in thus making this quite a nice single speed bike. They've got the carbon straight steerer fork in here, no suspension, which is something else. I would have liked suspension on a single speed, especially if you don't have gears. Then at least you've got a bit of comfort from the suspension on there. But yeah, usually when you've got a single speed bike, you've got slots here at the back, so you can move your wheel front and back a little bit to get your tension right on the chain. And now this has always been an issue when building a single speed bike, is that you can't get the tension just right on your chain. It's usually way too much, or you don't have enough, and then the chain keeps on falling off. Now you need to remember, when building a single speed, you need to have a straight line from your rear derailleur, from the chain. You need to have a straight line from the chainring at the front to the gear at the back on your wheel, to make sure that there's no cross chaining. I'm going to call it cross chaining, pulling the chain off that gear at the back. And then obviously you do need something like this little tensioner that we've got here, just to make sure that you've got enough tension on your chain. Now I'm going to put the wheel in real quick. I still need to do these. So I'm going to put in the wheel real quick, and then I'll show you guys how the tensioner works with the wheel. Hi guys, I do apologize for the background noise. So we've basically got a chain on here. It takes a bit of figuring out how to put the wheel on, especially if you're as lazy as me and you don't want to move the tensioner. But it is possible to put the wheel on there without moving the tensioner. So what we've done is, we actually thought we were going to put the chain at the tensioner at the top of the chain, pulling it down to put some tension on it. And then we thought, no, let's rather put it at the bottom of the chain, pushing it up and having more links of your chain sitting onto the teeth of this little gear there. It just makes it better, especially in the times where you're riding over a lot of bumpy roads, and then there is that possibility for the chain to slip over the teeth of that gear. So it just makes it a little bit better. Now guys, I'm not going to do any motivation on this video, and we've actually got a super busy day, which I'm grateful for. But I thought, let me share this with you guys. A super cool bike. Actually, a few nice things. It's got the Formula R1 brakes on here. Looks super cool. The full carbon fork, KCNC, little components here and there. Very nice physique saddle. It's just a few nice things. I just thought it's something else I'm going to share with you guys. So let me finish this bike real quick. If you like these videos, please do hit the thumbs up button, hit the subscribe button, and share this with all your friends. The channel's been growing great, and like I said in the previous video, I'm struggling to find my groove again. But I'm pretty sure that will come back as we work more and more on bikes and do more videos, and as I find things that's interesting to share with you guys. So guys, be strong, stay safe, and never say never. Cheers.